Welcome to the studio, Mr. Dayo.
Oh, thank you
I'm
very
not going to
much.
tell them what happened, but you thought only you could do photography, but I beat you to it. All right, let me start from the very beginning. You are a photographer of great repute, and I'm wondering, were you talked into it? Was it all your choice? How did it begin?
It started some years ago when I turned 18. My elder sister, Mrs. Adedayo, gave me a camera, the long cameras 110, and that was it. I've actually recorded all my teenage years, and leaving Nigeria to go abroad, it was second nature. The first money I made, I used it to buy a camera, a Zenith compact camera. They were made by the Russians then, you know. And I documented London in such a way that looking at those pictures some nearly 30 years ago, London have changed tremendously. And from then, that was it. Went to school to go and study photography, and here we are today. Never know that someone is sowing a seed in me. So I try as much as possible to try and encourage the younger ones as well in whatever they are doing.
All right, and you're doing it wonderfully well. I mean, the photography you're into, but your kind of photography is quite unique, very uncommon, but really, really breathtaking, especially for me. But I'd like to understand it a little bit more. Talk to us about it.
What actually happened is I used to be in social photography until about 6 years ago. I got tired of that. It was becoming boring, too many people going into it. Then again, I haven't studied photography. You don't go to university to be taking wedding pictures. And behold, you know, you have to be philosophical in anything you do in life. What happened was there is nothing on Nigeria at all. Even if you still Google Nigeria today, on images on Nigeria, all you will see are just the bad things on Nigeria. For me, we are calling Nigeria, the way we do it is like calling your mother a witch. At a point, people will start running away from her. Then it gets to a point, people will start even running away from you. And that is what we've been doing to Nigeria. And the way I'm looking at Nigeria is I've gained a lot from Nigeria. What am I giving back to Nigeria? That was what prepared me into saying, okay, let me start this documentary on Nigeria for people to see what they never know existed in Nigeria. And you will not believe Nigeria have the largest monument on the surface of Africa, just in Lagos State. And nobody talks about it. Much, much larger than that of the pyramid in Egypt. Queen of Sheba was actually buried in Ogun State, just confirmed about 3 months ago. You know, and for me, those are the little things we need to start talking about to be able to sell our country, sell ourselves, and for the rest of the world to see us in a different light.
Your passion for Nigeria is, you know, quite unparalleled. I love that, and I know that we all will get to that level in loving this country. And you've done so well representing Nigeria in so many books, and the books are not just the regular kind of books, pictorial. You want to talk to us about your books? I like this one on Nigeria, Enchanting Nigeria. You want to talk to us about it?
Enchanting Nigeria, I was actually commissioned by the presidency, the last administration, when Nigeria hosted the World Economic Forum in Abuja. What are they going to give to the guests, people coming into Nigeria for the first time? You know, it involves a lot of thinking. Sat down with my team, how do we come up with something really nice? And it took us a lot of efforts, and many thanks to the former Minister of Information, Frank Nweke, who happened to be the overall editorial director with Dr. Okiti and Dr. Kingsley. You know, these are young Nigerians that people hardly see these days that are doing things behind the scene, you know. And with that, people were really amazed, most especially the foreigners, when they were going through those pictures. And some historical pictures was added into it as well, with the centenary pictures, which happened to, I was lucky enough to be the official photographer to the centenary as well. So we have to, for me generally, we have no other country but Nigeria.
Definitely.
And if we don't sell Nigeria, who's going to buy Nigeria from us?
Obviously.
I mean, I see no reason why people should take money out of Nigeria, go and spend it abroad, keep the money abroad. You come back to Nigeria where you die to be buried. So what happens to your dead body? What are you going to tell the generation coming behind you? Those are the things. I look beyond the ordinary. It's not about money, because money is relative.
I love that spirit, especially as we celebrate our 55th birthday. I know that a lot of young people will pick up that and practice it, live by it. But I also know that you did a book recently to commemorate your 50th birthday, and a little bit told me that there is a story around the 50th birthday and your family. You want to share it with us?
The way we see things in Nigeria is we give out a lot of unwanted gifts. And life is about creativity. I mean, people talk about Steve Jobs. Computer has been there before Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs came in and changed the whole concept. So I thought deeply, what am I going to give to people? I mean, I've worked with several people within and outside the country. Then this thing just came upon me. We are losing our languages. I'm of Yoruba origin from Ogun State, somewhere called Ijebufe in Okeliwo. You know, so for me, turning Yoruba proverbs, me as I am, even my children hardly speaks Yoruba, not to even talk about the proverbs. So I now said, okay, let me use those people that have impacted a lot on my lives in the last 10 to 15 years as a proverb, to use pictures. You looking at the pictures will immediately tell you what the proverbs are. And if you cannot even read English, you can easily see the translation and the usage, and that is what comes out of that. And luckily for me, I've now developed that into another book, 1,000 words and Yoruba proverbs, which is coming before the end of the year.
Okay, so what's the story about the 50th birthday?
Yeah, 50th birthday, my wife did a documentary for me, which I was really surprised of. You know, behind me, I used to think I know everything that goes on in the house. But talking to several people, my family members, it was really a shocking. And why I celebrated the birthday was just like, okay, in my generation, we are the first set of people, fourth generation back, they never live up to 50.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my immediate elder brother even died before 50. So I was really scared. You know, so for me, all those things propelled me to say, okay, let me give him the glory for being there. And not just that alone, to give something back to the society. We're all going to die one day, whether you're 10, some people were born immediately, seconds, they die. Some lives up to 100, over 100. But it's not about how long, but how well. But for me, the whole thing, all I have in my body is just Nigeria. I have no other country to call my own. And if Nigeria works, it works for everybody.
It will definitely work.
Nigeria is going to work.
And I know you also made a mark on our 100 Naira note. I know 90% of the expressions, the creative expressions, belong to you. I want to know more about it. How did you come about that?
It is actually the first digital currency in the world. So there is a lot of firsts in Nigeria that actually we're not aware of. The CBN got in touch with me to say, oh, they're coming up with this thing. Dayo, what do you have on Nigeria? I made a selection of about 50 pictures, including very old pictures since 1900 on Nigeria. In my archives, I think I have over 3 million pictures on Nigeria, scattered all over the world. It is the greatest honor for me today to say everybody carries my work in their pocket.
In their wallet.
And not just that alone, even the international passport of Nigeria carries all my work. So for me, what else am I asking for? It's not about money when it gets to a stage, you know. All we need are just the basic. A cockroach will eat, and an elephant will eat as well. So for me, it's more of country. Less everybody in their own little corner. I'm a photographer, I'm doing my bit. Engineers should do this. Other photographers should do this. You know, politicians should do this. So medical professionals should do this. Media generally, everybody, accountants in their own little way. You know, everything now comes together. So it's not only the presidency, the state executives, you know, the legislators that will make Nigeria work. You know, it's everybody gathered together doing their own thing.
It's all hands put on deck.
Absolutely.
Okay, and talking about ensuring that the generations to come, you know, toe your line. I know that up until 2012, photography as a course of study in Nigeria was only a mirage, but you played a bold role in ensuring that it came to be. Are we embracing it the way we should in Nigeria?
certainly, yes, thanks to T.Y. Bello that made popular photography popular in Nigeria, until when she started in This Day Star, that was when the whole thing blew up. And I will give kudos to Dele Momodu of Ovation, who started the whole thing. Without Dele Momodu, I don't think photography would have been where it is today. Then again, Donald Baba, who happened to be one of NTA staff in the old days, I would say he's the father of modern Nigerian photography. He trained everybody today that are really into photography in Nigeria, the T.Y. Bellos, the Kelechi Amadis, you know. And when I was called upon to be part of the committee to set up photography in Nigerian school, before then, there is no school that offered photography in Nigeria as a course. They might be doing it in their mass communication, so, but it's just an overview of photography. And if we don't study photography, how do we sell ourselves? You look at the BBC, you look at the Sky News, you know, you look at the Al Jazeera, they've all been to school. It's not just about taking pictures. It goes beyond the lens. And luckily, our committee, we worked over 2 weeks with different people coming, joining hands together, thanks to the National Board on Technical Education. I can gladly say today, they've approved everything we did, and Aushi Polytechnic has been used as a guinea pig, as the first polytechnic in the country to take up photography as a course. So very soon, in another 4 or 5 years, people will be having HND photography. Because with that, they could see that a lot of people can be employed in that environment. You have Nollywood that started yesterday, is dominating the world. You have the music industry dominating the world. So why not photography? With photography, we'll be able to sell ourselves better.
Okay, any of your child towing your line?
Pardon?
Any of your child towing your line?
Yes, actually, my first son graduated in media and broadcast journalism. So, but I do not see him doing it afterwards. It's just, we saw daddy doing it and he thinks he'll be able to do it. I could see I have 2 sets of twins. One of them is actually, I could see him being an artist. Okay. You know, and I pray he does, because at the end of the day, you know, most of these things are in our genes. You know, and for me, I've never worked in my life. I'm just having fun. I sleep in the afternoon when people are busy working or chasing money all over the place. But when I'm working, nobody knows. I like that. You're having fun while you're working and making not money, really. I'm just documenting Nigeria, because in another 200-300 years, people will see those work and see our civilization. All right.
I'd like to know, you know, interviewers like me, they said often get shy when the camera is put in front of them. Is it the same for you if a table is turned?
Absolutely, because you hardly see me in front of camera. Okay. I'm always behind the camera, and I'm publicity shy to start with. You know, so it's but once in a while, it's good to see the people who do all these things, but it shouldn't be often, because we are not designed to be in front of the camera. We are designed to be behind it.
All right, thank you very much. I wish I had time, so you teach me what a composition of a good shot should be like and all that. But we'll take that for another day. I must say congratulations for the jobs you've done, and I love every bit of it. All these books all about Nigeria, every one of them, and I particularly like this one. It says Nigeria, the magical. A lot of pictorial representation of Nigeria all in here. Thank you. I think I'm going to have to read this and understand my country more, as much as I love it. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Right. We'll still have you again sometime soon.
Thank you.
All right. In line with what you told me, I want to say Eshego.
Dalu.
Dalu.